What's going on, people? Welcome to United View and welcome to the road trip for Man United's game against Leicester City at Old Trafford today. The games keep coming thick and fast. The players are in their element. They're playing every three or 3.5 days, whatever you want to call it. And it's another big one, man. Listen, today's game is massively important, like all of the rest. But I know everyone's looking up. I know everyone's looking up. You look at what happened with Arsenal yesterday, unbelievable scenes. You look at what happened with Man City straight after that, unbelievable scenes with Forest getting a late equaliser. And you're looking at it and you're like, raw, let's go catch City. But also, you look at Newcastle starting to implode and they've lost another game, or they've dropped more points and lost the game yesterday against Liverpool. And for me, win today and top four's just, it's done. It's done. I know everyone can say it was done ages ago because Tottenham are crap and da-da-da-da. But at the end of the day, that's just how, you know what I've been on in it. Let's just take care of business, game by game, minute by minute, week by week. And that's what we've been doing. Also about this game is we're playing so many games is that we don't know, right, when the blip will be, when the kind of fatigue will kick in, or when you have just an off day. And the dangerous games are the ones that are in between the big ones, yeah? Now, don't get me wrong, all games are important, and, you know, with where we want to go in the league and stuff like that and get in Champions League, and for you guys who are in the title race, every game is important. Every 3 points is massive, right? There are no easy games. As, look what Forest just done to City. There are no easy games. Look how Arsenal had to fight to the last seconds of that game to win it. There were no easy games in the Prem. But when you're fighting on all fronts like we're doing, you know, coming off the back of a wicked draw that we should have won in Barcelona only a couple of days ago, and you're going into these games sandwiched in between the return leg of that Barcelona game, you're just never quite sure, you know, if the team's going to have a little dip. Does the focus drop a little bit? Do the levels drop because of sheer fatigue? And again, this is where we have to use the squad. I know Ten Hag likes to go as strong as he can in every single game, and I agree with that. But looking at it today, just off the bat, for me, I ain't playing Varane. The Rolls Royce, the Wraith, the Ghost, the Phantom. I'd have him on the bench today. I'd bring in Maguire. I know people say, oh no, this, that and the other. We need to use the squad depth, man. Or Lindelof. I don't mind which one it is, actually. Maguire or Lindelof against Leicester at home, alongside Martinez. He should come back in for me. Would I just go Luke Shaw back to left back? Yeah. I mean, him or Molassic got to play again and again anyway. One of them's got to play. So I'd just go to Luke Shaw left back. Because again, I'm not mugging it off. I'm not saying like, oh, just make loads of changes because it's Leicester at home. It don't matter. But we do have to have an eye on that Thursday game, and players that you can rest, I think we should. There's, you know, we've got two other centre halves who ain't playing. They have to come in for a game here or there. We saw Leeds away. Had to, you know, played Maguire. Yes, he done some shaky things, but you know, at home against Leicester, you know, Maguire should be able to play, or Lindelof. I don't care which one it is. Just make sure it ain't Varane. In midfield, we know that Casemiro can't play, so Sabitza's going to have to come in, and Fred's going to have to go again. We've got no problems with that. Interesting to see what Ten Hag does in the front line as well. I know he wants that continuity. I know he wants us to win every game, but does he make a few changes? Will Anthony be back ready for the bench? Will Martial be back ready for the bench? Even McTominay? I don't think so. He did mention that we'll have to wait and see. A few more days on the training pitch can help those players. So we'll see. But usually when he says that, they ain't available. They ain't available, yeah? So let's just take it, and I'll stand corrected, or be, you know, we'll all be happy if Anthony's back on the bench. That gives us an extra option, or even McTominay, or obviously, or Martial. But I don't think any of those three start, even if they are involved in the matchday squad, which we'll wait and see. So I think he goes Fred, Sabitzer, and personally, I think he should carry on with this Weghorst thing. I do. I think he should carry on with this Weghorst. If Anthony's not able to start the game, we know that no one really does well on the right-hand side, whether it be Garnacho. Rashford shouldn't be out there because he's absolutely smashing it on the left-hand side and up front. For me, I'll go with the same front three. I'll go with Jadon Sancho on the left, Rashford through the middle, Bruno on the right, and Weghorst in this newly found 10 position. You know what I mean? Who would have thought that we'd stumble across that and think, you know what? That's working. That's working for the team. Yeah, we want Weghorst scoring goals, and you know, the reason why we brought him in our minds was to to have a number 9 who's available and play him up front. But actually, I mean, Owen spoke about this in the preview. Is Marcus Rashford the answer to up front right now? I think it goes game by game. I think it goes moment by moment, because what we have seen is that Ten Hag's not afraid to change things in game, you know, whether it's starting with Rashford through the middle and Weghorst just behind, or whether it's starting with Rashford on the left, Weghorst up front, Bruno in the 10, and then Sancho on the right, you know. But I think because Sancho's come back into it, it almost looks like Ten Hag wants to see him come from the left. We could also see Sancho in the 10 at times. So I think it's adaptable, and I don't think Ten Hag's really made his mind up of, you know, it's going to be like this and it's going to be like this every game. If anything, realistically, what Ten Hag's shown us this season, in his first season, is that anything can change at any moment. Things that we weren't thinking of, he does. You know, Lindelof came on for like 15 minutes. Was that against Leeds at home? Yeah, it was, because Sabitzer couldn't manage the 90. He came on and played centre mid, you know, so he's working on things. He's working on players playing in multiple positions. So it's not that crazy to think that Sancho can end up in the 10. It's not crazy to think that Bruno can end up on the right-hand side. It certainly isn't crazy to think Weghorst can end up in the 10. Rashford can end up front, you know. So I don't mind these situations at all, because Ten Hag's, you know, shown us already that he's ready to go for it. I just think if we can win here today, that just gets the daylight between us and Newcastle to really just, you know, then you know what, focus on looking up. And it's kind of like a double-edged sword, because by beating Leicester today, we could, you know, set aside Newcastle and start looking up. But also you look up automatically because Man City have dropped the points. So it's one of those win-win situations for us today. And I'm confident that we'll do it. But I'm just also cautious about, like I said, this drop-off. You just don't know when it's going to come. You know, we didn't think it would happen at home against Leeds. We thought managerless Leeds, Old Trafford, will roll them over easy, comfy. And it just didn't happen. You know, we started the game poorly. And before you know it, we're 1-0 down. And Leicester are a better side than Leeds. You know, Leicester are better sides. And Leicester have been resurgent in the last 4 games. We spoke about it yesterday on the preview. They dispatched the Spurs very well. They went to Villa, 1-4-2. You know, and I'm not saying, you know, we're like them teams, because we're better than Villa, we're better than Spurs, and Old Trafford is a fortress. But they're just little reminders that you have to be on your game. You know, you have to be on your game, and you have to be 100% tapped in and 100% switched on. Because start badly, you know, or don't manage the game properly against Leicester, and you got a problem. You got a problem. So I'm gonna go with a narrow 2-1. I think it will be tight. I think there'll be moments of evenness throughout the game. Leicester gonna have their little spell, little counter attacks, doing okay. But I think we'll nick it. 2-1 I'm going for. Let me know what you're going for. Let me know what your predicted lineup will be as well. Make sure you keep KG, DJ, and Paolo company on the match view. Make sure you do that. And remember, they will be playing the Circl game as well on the Circl app, so get that downloaded. The link will be in the QR code below, which you can see. Get involved with that. Links are in the video description below, so you guys can check out all the terms and conditions and stuff. And KG will explain more. Okay, you lot know that, and we'll have the match reactions from OT as well. Take care. Peace.